I am gonna just really quickly get myself up on my computer. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, I'm up. Let's check for sound. Okay, I'm checking for sound. Hopefully my sound. Checking for sound. Okay, there we go. All right, we'll wait for some people to come in. And then I'll let you guys know what I am doing today. Got some cool things working on. We got some real cool things we're working on. Anybody come on yet? We got 5. Oh, hey, Artsy girl, how you doing? What's going on? You know, I'm over here fiddle-faddling around my studio, pulling things out still. Oh! And I just had a crafty avalanche. Okay. All right. We're good. I'm actually half-ass organized today. Okay. Sounds good? Good, good. We got a fun day today coming up. We'll just wait for a few more people. We're going to work on it. We're going to finish this up. Remember, this is the cover to my 100 Days Collage Journal. And I need to do the cover. So we did that Finnabair to the cover, but I need it to, what do I need to do? But I needed to paint it still. So we're going to do that together today. And then we're going to do some pottery. I'm going to make a mug. Can you guys believe that? I'm excited. Let me bring this down. Then you guys can really get a good look while I'm working on it. Oh, shoot. There we go. See if let me see. I don't know. Can't come down too much or I'll bump into the camera, but I think that'll be good. So you guys can at least get a good view. Thanks, Artsy girl. Yeah, crafty avalanche I almost had. Hey, Diane, how are you doing? Welcome. Glad to have you here. So we're just waiting for a few more people, Diane. We have 9 people in the chat so far, but some people aren't, what do they call them, lurkers? You can lurk all you want. You don't have to comment. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. I understand that. Sometimes you just want to just watch and relax. Okay, so we're still just waiting for a few more people. Yeah, Archie girl and Diane, I'm gonna make a a mug today out of clay. I've been working with this guy named Andy Ward. Andy Ward is on YouTube, and he teaches how to make ancient pottery, how the natives did it. And you actually, he teaches you the coil and scrape technique, which a lot of natives did, and then how to fire it in a fire pit. And I did it yesterday, you guys. It was so exciting. So, really excited about that. I have a piece that I'll show you how it turned out. And I'm doing a thing where when you fire the pottery, I'm painting some of it kind of like in the native type of way, but I'm taking other of it and I am using organics, which means you take you take the piece, like suppose it's a pot, you put it in some foil, and then you add different things, eggshells, orange peels, bananas. You can even add some mineral paints, like red iron oxide, which I added a little bit of that. I added some brown iron oxide. You throw salt in there. You can do corn husk. And anyway, you take all this stuff and you wrap the whole pot, let's say it's a pot, in foil, and then you put it in the fire. And it's kind of like raku in a way. It came out really cool. Really exciting. Okay, we got 4 people here. I'm just waiting for a couple more people. Usually we got more. Where's all the people? Just waiting. Well, you know what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start on this, because this is going to take me a little bit. And we'll do the mug. We'll do the mug later. We'll do the mug in about an hour or so. Janet Nash calls them gentle listeners, people resting with Us. Oh, gentle listeners. That's a good name. That's better than lurker. I always thought lurker was kind of rude. I was like, that's why I said it the way I did. I'm like, that sounds kind of rude, a lurker. Gentle listeners. Exactly. That sounds better. So let's go ahead and sit down and get started on this. Let me see if I can bring this back. Yeah, there we go. So I can bring this back here. Hey, Northern Snowbird, how are you doing? Good to see ya. So this is my art journal cover. Remember, for the 100 Days of Collage? Well, I still needed to paint this, so that's what we're working on. And I'm also going to create a mug out of clay today. Show you guys what I've learned from the lessons from Andy Ward. So what I'm going to be using to paint this with is the Finnabair brown rust. Is this a paste? Rust effect paste. So I'm going to use this brown. I'm going to use this blue turquoisey color. It's another paste in the bottles. And these, I got so lucky. I got all these for like $4 or $5. These are normally like 20 bucks when Michael's was clearancing them a year or two ago. And this one is Patina Effect Paste Brass. We're going to use that. And then she has these metallic waxes. There's metallic and there's matte waxes. I have both. So we're going to use some of this too. And then also I'm going to use a little bit of this gold. I'm not sure if this is the gold I used or not. I don't think so. I'm looking for this gold here. I used it and I'm not sure what gold I used, but it's the only gold I can think of that I used. Anyway. All right, so let's get started. All right, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up my jars because I pretty much work out of the jar. Put that here, this here. Okay. And then this paste needs to go there. And then my gold paint goes here. Kind of strange. We don't have very many people on today. At least we don't have very many on yet. Doesn't Finnabair's rust effect paste sound perfect? I know. So I'm going to take the brown. I always like to start with the brown first. And let's start down here. And it's just a game of going back and forth. And I love to use these little small stiff brushes. They're really long. I got them at Tuesday Morning a long time ago, but they're real nice and stiff. And they work really good for stuff like this. Hey, Melissa, how are you doing? Good to see you. What's my next one? And just a tad bit of turquoise on here. Sorry, I got quiet for a second. There we go. So you just keep going back and forth until you like how you got it, until you like how you've done it. There we go. And the gold. Let me see about, how did I do the gold? There we go. All right, so these are the 4 we're going to use. All right. So Melissa, what I'm doing is, this is the art journal that I did, the 100 Days of Collage. This is that cover. So that I never finished yet. I started with you guys, but I hadn't finished it. So I'm getting myself back to it and finishing it up. Oh, I know what I'm missing from all of this. Okay, I have one more color. The rust effects paste. Here we go. There we go. Look at all these brushes I'm working with. Oh! Alrighty. Let's throw a little bit of, you know what, the turquoise I don't need to put on until afterwards. So I'm not going to work with the turquoise right now. So that's one less brush that I need to work with. Let me see if anybody else is on. Hey Michelle, how are you doing? Welcome, I'm glad to have you. So everyone, people are coming in little bit by little bit. So for people who just popped in, this is my the cover of my 100 Days of Collage journal. So I am so I did some Finnabair art a couple weeks ago. That's what all this is, all these pieces. And I did some Finnabair art a couple weeks ago. So I am God, I can't even think. So I'm painting it now. It's like, was it that hard to get out? You know what, guys? Sometimes it is. Need a little bit of brown in here to break this up. There we go. And a little turquoise right now. There we go. Alrighty. Oh! So I will work on this for I will work on this until what time? I'll work on this until 3, and then from 3 to 4 I'll make that pot out of clay. I'll do some pottery, and I'm gonna make a mug today. And then let me put a little bit of turquoise on here, and then I will check the chat. Oh, we need a little brown in here somewhere. There we go. Let me just see a little bit of this. So you just keep playing back and forth with these colors until you like what you're getting. That's it. There we go. So I think that girl turned out pretty cool. Bring the camera down. Oh, there's this, and then where's the gold out? Let's just put that there. There we go. Try to come out a little closer so you guys can see. I could be down further, really. All right, let's try bringing this over the arm and bringing it further down. Oh, All right, let's see what that does. Okay, who's popped in? Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? So what I'm doing is, I know I've repeated it for the people who've been here. You guys are like sick of hearing me say it, but some people just popped in. This is my journal, my art journal for the 100 Days of Collage. So remember I did this Finnabair art with all these ceramic pieces on here. So today I'm painting it up. And then at 3 o'clock, then I told you guys I started learning how to do pottery. So I'm going to make a mug today. So I'm excited. What's funny is Rose, what is Rose's channel? I just know, I know Rose, and I know her by her name, but I'm trying to think what her damn channel is. Is she on here today? She's not on here, but earlier she's like, I wish you would show us how to do, I know that you just started it, but just show us, you know, something about the pottery. And I said, well, you're in luck today because I'm going to make a mug. She was like, yes. I'm sure she'll be on here in a little bit. Oh, I just put paint on almost on my camera. That's not good. I got it off. Thanks, Melissa. So I'm just taking these brushes, these stiff little brushes, and just going back and forth. Yeah, see, Rose. Thank you. You know, sometimes my brain power is just like not there. You know what it is? It's like you have to, you're creating, you're thinking. All this has to happen at one time. It ain't easy. You're making a video, you're taping things. It ain't easy. So I got to give myself a break sometimes when I lose train of thought. Like, you got a lot going on right now. Okay, and we'll do a little bit of turquoise. Cool. Alrighty. Just trying to see if anybody else on. Yeah, I hope C Rose can make it today because I want her to see. She wanted to see me do some pottery, so I hope she makes it on today. If not, no big deal. She can just watch the replay if she wants to see it. Okay. And then we got a little bit of teal, a little bit of turquoise in here. So what's everybody working on? Anybody arting or crafting along? We'll chat here in just a second. I'll tell you one thing, these rust paste, they smell weird. A really strange smell. Just looking to see. You know what? Let's take this one away for now. I'm talking to myself. Sorry, guys. I have one of these paints that's just really, looks so similar, so I'm going to try this. All right. Yeah, see, I think this is going to work better. I'm going to do the brown, this coppery color, and then the gold. And skip, there was another gold. I think I'm going to get rid of that one because it was too many. It was too close together. That looks better. This looks better. I'm sure you guys can't even tell what the heck I'm talking about. But I had too many colors going on. I had too much going on, which sounds like me. All right. Cool. Let me see if anybody else has come on. Okay. So you guys, is anybody working on anything with me? Is anybody else arting or crafting along? You know, this brush is really big. I'm going to get a smaller one. Do I have a smaller one? Yes, I do. Let me throw this into some water and get a smaller brush. That's going to be a lot better. Oh, I'm glad I got rid of that. I'm not working with so many colors. That was stressing me out. Yeah, I don't want to be stressed while I'm creating. It was just too many colors. And in fact, I'm going to close that other one up so I don't dry it out. Just as anytime you have paint that's in a jar, like these right here, any of your paints in jars, put a little water in the actual paint and then in the lid and then close it, and it'll keep them from drying out. So whatever water is evaporated, you put the water back in. I learned that from Diane Reevely a few years ago. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? Did I say hi to you yet? If I didn't, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. You're cooking but getting ideas for later. Very good. Very good. All right, what am I doing? All righty. There we go. And there's some gold right here. This is fun. It's very stress-free. I love art that's stress-free. Don't you? I love stress-free art. Okay, there was something in there. Okay, so let's do this other wing over here. There we go. Yeah, I just wondered, like, what gold did I use right here? This is not the same gold. It doesn't matter, but I just wanted to know what gold did I use on these faces. I don't know what the heck I did. There we go. Okay, yes, I did say hello. Good, very good, Michelle. Okay. Oh, you guys, you know what I found? I shouldn't say this, but um, I go to this Mexican grocery store. That's not what I shouldn't say. I mean, I should say this. I go to this Mexican grocery store, and I love going there because they have homemade tortillas. I mean, you can see them making the tortillas. Like, it's insanely awesome. And so once you've had homemade tortillas, you can't be going back to no store-bought more tortillas. So anyway, oh my God, my brain lately has just been, I just go off on a tangent and I lose train of thought. What is going on with me? It's like I still have COVID brain or something. Where in the heck was I going with that? Oh, okay. So anyway, now I know where I was going with that. So they have newspapers outside of there, and I always grab a few newspapers, kind of more than a few, because I need newspapers to pack my eBay stuff. So they always have a ton out there, and they always have a ton on the ground too. So I choose the ones on the ground first. Anyway, I never really noticed the Mexican, they're Mexican newspapers, and they're written in Spanish. So just like the Asian newspapers from Chinatown, I picked up a bunch of them so I can use them in my artwork. I don't know why I wasn't looking at these newspapers and realizing that they're in Spanish. So of course, you guys know I like to use the Asian newspapers in my collages. Well, now I can use these newspapers that have Spanish on them. And I picked a bunch up yesterday also to put in the giveaway so that people can use it in their artwork. I mean, I knew they were in Spanish. I don't know why I didn't think to use it in my artwork like I do the Asian newspapers. Anyway. So today, that'll be part of the giveaway. I'll do like an Asian newspaper and then a Spanish newspaper. So you can get one of each if you win the giveaway. Okay, I'm just looking to see what I'm doing. That gold brush is kind of big. Wish I had a little bit smaller one than that. No major. All right. All right, you need a little turquoise in there to pop it a little bit. There we go. And let's add a little bit right into here to pop that. And a little in here. And we'll add some on the edges. There we go. I'm just looking to see what just checking chat here. Okay. It's funny how many people we have watching, 14, but not as many people in the chat. Well, this is looking pretty good. You know, it's just funny. I just finally looked at my screen, and I also just looked up in the in my phone just to see how it looks. It's nice to look at it from a distance so you can really get a look at it. Yeah, this is looking pretty cool. All right, cool. When you're right up on something, you can't always see it as well. Then when you look in a monitor, or if you look a little far away, you can see things a little bit better. Sometimes, you know, you're so up on your work that it's... Okay. Turquoise. There we go. Let's put a little turquoise on the edge of here and on the edge of there. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of starting to come together pretty cool. Hey, Mari, how are you doing? Mari says, I'm in between TV, YouTube, and phone YouTube because babysitting, but I never miss a show. You're so sweet, Mari. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. You're very, very sweet. Very kind. So, Mari, you know what we're working on? Let me know, Mari, if you know what we're working on. I think you said you've been watching, but you're watching on another thing, or you're watching a couple things. But let me know if you don't know what we're working on. I will explain what I'm doing right now. Nothing's worse than you're like, girl, what are you doing? I don't even know what you guys are saying, what you're working on, what you're doing. Oops. I'm going to have my thing completely painted up. This thing that my phone's on. I keep hitting it with the brush. Okay, I need a little bit more of this. I love these metallic waxes. These are fabulous. I love all of her stuff. The only thing I don't like about Finnabair stuff is the price. The price is a little at it. Price is a little pricey. Her stuff is, but you know what? She gives you a good amount of things. So when you get it, you get a lot. Like, look, I mean, this is a lot of paint. It'll last me a long time. This is a wax, so you don't need very much of it. And then she has other things like this that you get just huge tubs. And this one's another effect paste, which is really cool. So let me add a little turquoise in here, just here and there. So the turquoise I'm just adding as a little accent. Too much of it, and I think it can look real vulgarish real quick. But just a little bit just gives it that little accent. You know? All right. Let me see what people are saying here. Yeah, you got it. You know what we're working on. Okay. I thought you said that you were watching between two different types of ways to watch, so, or watching two different things. So I was pretty sure you had seen this. How are we gonna do this bone here? You know, we're not gonna worry about this bone right now. Let's go up here. Let's go up here. And then the gold. Let me see how I like that. All right. I'm putting a lot of brown because the brown is what I feel. I mean, it's going to put the other colors, but I just feel like the brown is something that just really needs to be the base on this because there's not very much texture. There we go. And then let's see about the gold here. Just add that in here. I wish this brush right here was a little bit smaller. I'm gonna touch things lightly with it because it's so obnoxious when I place the gold anywhere. Okay, there we go. Do a little bit more brown on top of all this. Okay. And then we'll throw a little bit of turquoise on here. There we go. I think that looks good. All right, let me see what people are saying here. If you guys want me to answer a question or are you talking to me, just make sure you put it in capitals, okay? Mari says all Angie Bell, all channels. Okay. So let's keep going. And for those who just come on, I am going to do, I'm going to work on this until 3. What time is it now? So I got another, almost half an hour. I'm going to work on this until 3. And then what am I doing? Oh, and then I'm going to make a mug out of clay. So I'm going to do some pottery. I think I can do a mug in an hour. I think. Okay. Do I have another small brush? I have a small one here. Let me see if this is, because that one with the gold on it is just so damn big. It's irritating me. Yeah, I have a smaller one. Let me put that one away. This is a lot better. Oh, this is so much better using this smaller brush than having that gigantic brush. That was irritating the crap out of me. Just every time I touched, it would put a big blob of gold there. And I was like, okay, I don't want a blob. I just want a little bit. So much better. Okay. Put a little bit of turquoise here and there. And I did cover this. I did put a couple of, just one coat of a heavy black gesso on this, on all these pieces. So we'll be starting out, especially if you want to put rich colors on, it's so much nicer to start with like painting a dark black. If you want to go like more lighter colors and you want to go more vintage looking, then paint it with like a white gesso first, and then you can start in with that. So alrighty. I love doing this type of Finnabair art. It's so fun. It's relaxing. That's why I like collage. Collage is relaxing too. To me, art is like therapy, so I just don't need it to be stressing me out, you know? I mean, art is like therapy. It creates those happy endorphins, right? It helps you solve some issues sometimes that you're going through, or ways you're thinking that aren't right. Art can do a lot of good stuff for you. Just touching with a little bit of turquoise here and there. Yeah, that's all we'll put on there on that one. On that wing. Gonna throw a little brown into here, down there. Alrighty. I'm not brave enough yet to do it, but I will film. I'm not going to do it as a live because it takes too long, but I am going to show you how I fire the mugs in an open, fire my pottery in an open fire pit. I have a fire pit in my backyard made out of metal, like a big fire pit, and that's what I fired my pottery in yesterday. So I will do a video on it. Once I, that was my first firing was yesterday. So just want to, get my system down, and then I will do some videos on how to open pit fire, which is cool because otherwise, if you want to make pottery and you want to fire your pottery, you have to buy a kiln. A kiln is like 10 grand or 5 grand, or I don't know how much a damn thing is, but it's expensive. And this way you can just do it in your backyard. If you don't have a fire pit, you can even just on the sidewalk, you can, like you have some cement in your backyard or even in the front yard, but someone might call the fire department, maybe. You just put some sand down, and then you start building your fire pit on top of the sand. And so that way it doesn't mar up the cement or anything if you don't have a fire pit, or if you don't have an area in your yard where you can create a fire. So, and then what's cool, it's called earthenware. And you've always heard, I don't know if you've ever heard that, like, you can't, earthenware, you can't eat off of. Well, I was listening to Andy Ward, and he said that's BS. Natives did it for thousands of years, and nobody died and nobody got sick. But the thing about it is what happens is that you can seal it. There's certain ways to seal it with lard and heat, and you can seal it about 90%. But it will hold water. You can cook in them. You can eat off of them. Just maybe once a week, after you wash them, throw them in the oven, because the clay can absorb food a little bit. But if you throw it in the oven, like, for like, 3 or 4 or 5, like 300, 400 degree oven, it'll just make sure that any bacteria is, burned off. So that's the main thing with earthenware that's fired in a fire and not in a kiln. That's the big thing about it. So to keep bacteria off of it, just once a week, throw it in the oven on 300 or 400 and just make sure that any bacteria that's inside the pottery at all, that's absorbed by the pottery, gets burned out. And then you can eat off of it. The natives did it for years. So I'm getting ready to make, I want to make mugs, I want to make plates, I want to make bowls that I'm going to eat off of. Super excited. All right, I'll check chat here in just a second. What did you know what? Oh, that's this brown brush. Okay. Just a second. My brush is getting so gooked. I need to put these brushes down for a second. This brush right here, look how gooked that is. All right, there we go. Take some of it off of there. It was just getting gooked. I think there was dried stuff with fresh stuff. All right, there we go. Much better. I got some stuff on my hands too. All right, let's get off my hands. All right, I'll read chat here in just a second. Let me get a baby wipe for my hands. And then the next couple of weeks, you guys, I have two 100 days of collage journals. The first one I filled up, and then, you know, it got full, so I had to start this one. But I need to do that cover, and that cover I want it to look like it's been in a fire, like it's burnt. I know I'm crazy. So we'll do that one here in a few weeks. Okay. Hey, Carolyn, how are you doing? Hey, Adrian, how are you doing? Good to see you guys. Melissa says that's so interesting. I love to see how you do it. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about making the mug, making some pottery today. Carolyn, I need to let you know. Last Sunday, was it? Yeah. Last Sunday, was it last Sunday? The Sunday before. I think it was last Sunday. Anyway, you won something. And I went to send it out, and when I went to the post office, they told me that I was going to get charged like $6 to send something that I could have sent as a flat envelope because I didn't have a manila envelope. I had it in a plastic envelope. This one plastic type of poly envelope that I have. Anyway, they said it has to be in a paper envelope. It has to be out of paper, or they'll have to charge me like $6 instead of like $1.50 or $2. So I just got it sent out yesterday. So I just want to let you know that. So, because I wasn't able to get back to the post office once they did that. But so it's on its way. Just so you know, so you're not going, where is my stuff? It's on its way. And since you live here in Vegas, you'll probably get it pretty quickly. You won't have to wait too long. So Carolyn, what I'm doing is, this is my 100 Days of Collage art journal, and I'm doing the cover. Remember I did this Finnabair style with all this ceramics type of stuff. All these pieces that I molded in molds a couple weeks ago and then applied them onto here. Well, now I'm finishing this up finally. So finally getting to it. Only doing the paint for it. Okay. Let me go back to, okay, let me go back to the brown. Throw a little more copper on here. All right, and then let's throw a little turquoise on here. Okay. Oh, I'm getting quiet, huh? Sorry. I'm focusing. All right. What time is it? All right. We're going to finish this up. And then I'll do make the mug. I will check chat here in just a second. All right, that's a lot of brown on there, which I need. Let's go to the copper color. Melissa says this piece is giving me Egyptian pirate vibes. Thanks. Thanks, Carolyn. Adrian says, I've been trying to get all of my craft stuff together. There are things in my garage. Adrian says, I've seen some really cool journals that would be perfect for doing collage in on Amazon. Oh, cool. Very cool. What am I doing? Okay. What am I doing? Losing train of thought. That's what I'm doing. They don't take much. Okay, and then let's put a little gold. Okay. All right, and then let's throw in a little bit of the turquoise here and there. Okay. Okay, just Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is hit the bottom of this, the bone down here at the bottom. It's so cool that Finnabair, she has molds. This was a mold. All these were mold. All this was, all these pieces were molded from Finnabair's molds or Prima's mold, but mostly Finnabair. And I use Plaster of Paris for my medium to make the pieces. A lot of times I tell you to use resin. You guys, resin is expensive. For $8 or $9, you can buy a big thing of Plaster of Paris, and you can make a ton of pieces. That resin goes so quickly, and it's so expensive. So if you want to do this, I advise using Plaster of Paris. And then if you need your pieces to be white, you don't even have to put gesso. They're already a nice flat surface ready for you to paint on. So unless you need it to be black, like I had this one black, but if white works for you, you're good to go with the white, because like I said, the Plaster of Paris is already nice and matte and flat, very paintable. So you already have like a paintable surface, so it's pretty cool. I don't think that's, I just painted something that wasn't even part of the bone. No major. Okay. So now let's throw a little turquoise on here. And I'll check chat here in just a second. And I'll bring this up closer to the camera so you guys can see it, if you want to get a better look at it. I think that looks good. Okay, did we get everything that we're going to get? Sorry guys if I'm off of frame here with everything. I just want to look at what I'm looking at here. So sorry for being out of frame for a second. I'm just going along to little crevices and areas and just touching these up really quickly. And I'll probably end up doing some of this touching up when I get off of here. Well, maybe not. I probably won't get back to this. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks good. Oh, I see a little section that needs some. There we go. All right, so let me put these brushes in the water, and I'll bring this up a little bit for you guys, or I'll just bring the camera down. Let's see, let's bring this over and down. There we go. Oh. That's what this looks like close up. Hope you guys like it. I think it looks pretty cool. And there's the middle part. And then there's the bottom. So I like it. I think it turned out pretty cool. Hope you guys like it. Like I said, take your spray bottle and put a little bit of water in the bottle and then also in the lid. And that'll replace any water that escaped. And let me bring this up a little bit. Okay. camera back to where it needs to be. Okay. So we'll put all of this away, and I will get ready for the to work on some pottery to make a mug. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. It's going to take a second because it's a whole nother setup. So I have to do another setup. Let me just read what people are saying. Oops. Thanks, Artsy Girl. Thanks, Mari. Yeah, Adrian, the Finnabair molds, they are so cool. What is it called? I'm trying to think of the place online where I order them most of the time. What is it called? It's an online craft store. Everyone shops in. I'm trying to think what it's called. I'll let it. I think it'll hit me in a minute what it's called. But I usually order mine from this one place because they usually always have like 10 to 20% off, which is at least something because they're expensive. They're like 20 bucks. They're like not cheap. I just want to show you guys something I got for my jelly plate yesterday. Check this out. It's in the spring shop. So if you want this for your jelly plate, go get it soon though, because you know, spring shop stuff is they're putting out all their summer stuff. So this is going to be going pretty soon. But it was $4.99, but I got it for $2.50 because it was half off. But look, it's the honeycombs, but they're real small. Isn't that going to be fabulous for the jelly plate? That's going to make such cool marks on the jelly plate. So I'm so excited. And it's so nice and big. I can just take this whole thing and just go like this. And yeah, that'd be really cool. You know, I was wondering if I shouldn't have bought 2 of these because I could take this. I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I'm going to buy another one of these. They're closed today, but I'm going to go back tomorrow and get another one because I'd like to cut this up. I like to cut it up and then just have one strip like this. See? Maybe do one strip where it's really thin and do another strip where it's like thicker. And then do like maybe, cut it up into a square. So you can have different, you can cut it into a circle. So you can have a lot of different texture plates out of one more of these. So this one I'm going to use this whole, but I'm going to go buy one more tomorrow so I can cut it up. That'll be fabulous. Okay. And well, hopefully, because their spring shop was 50% off last week. So hopefully it's still 50% off this week. It probably will be just because I know they're trying to get rid of the spring stuff now for the summer. Well, forget that. I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday and they have Christmas. They're starting to put Christmas out. And it's not even July. It's June. Usually it's Christmas in July, but it's June. They have Christmas out and they have fall out, you guys. Oh my goodness. Didn't we just have Christmas and fall? We just had it. It's just crazy. Okay. Yeah, Michelle, definitely go to Hobby Lobby and get that. And get it before they sell out. Because they're going to sell it pretty soon. Because they're getting rid of all the spring stuff. Okay, let me put this away. And get the setup for the pottery. So talk amongst yourselves for a second. While I get set up. Okay. You guys, when you're anywhere, always be looking for things for your jelly plate. I'm always looking for things for my jelly plate. All the time. All right, there's this. I cannot wear these rings, I can tell you that. Working on clay, get these off. Get those off. And then let me get my clay out. Now the clay that I'm using is I guess it's like a off-white parchment looking clay. Right now it looks more grayish, but anyway, that's what I guess what it fires to. I I got the clay at Hobby Lobby. And it's very pure clay. So you need to put, the clay is really pure. So you need to put like temper in it, like something like sand, especially if you're going to do open fire pit firing like I do. So I've already prepared this, and I have a nice little bag of it, and I already put sand in it, actual sand. So what I do is I just take a little bit of clay like this, kind of open it up a little bit. This is some like play sand, kids play sand. I put some in here, and then I just mash it up in it. And what happens is when you put sand in there, you put enough temper, clay likes to shrink and expand, even in like when you're firing. And that way it can shrink and expand if you put the sand in there, and your pottery doesn't break. And I didn't have any breaks yesterday. So, all right. So that's what I'm doing for the clay. This guy, Andy Ward, who I'm learning how, who I'm taking, okay, Andy Ward is on YouTube. So you can look at all his videos, and I'll put a link to him below, and you can check it out. And he teaches you a lot. But for a more comprehensive way to learn how to do all this, it's better to take his classes. And he has a thing called Ancient Pottery Class. And it's it's $118 for the year, but you can pay by the month. So it's $20 a month, which is what I'm doing. You're in his club, which every Wednesday you go live with him and the group. But also you have like all these lessons, all these pottery lessons, like a lot, like, I don't know, it looks like 20 lessons for $20 a month, you guys. That's crazy. Now, if I paid the $118, which is what I really should do, the $118 would be cheaper than the $20 a month. But to get pottery lessons for that, and his lessons are excellent. I'm taking them right now. Oh, I'll show you something I just made. This is what I just made. This isn't the biggest thing no, it's not the biggest thing. I just made something else bigger. But it's one of the bigger things I made, and I fired it yesterday. And I did the type of, it's kind of like raku, but it's a little bit different of how I did this. I'll show it to you guys. So, here's the pot. Did this come out cool, you guys? Look at all the cool colors. I'll tell you how I did this. So, this isn't the best pot, because, see, look, it's a little bit, like, protruding here more than here on this side. But it's probably the third pot that I made. So, for just beginning, it's pretty good. But I like how pretty the colors are. Isn't that gorgeous? So, okay, now this isn't raku, but it's kind of like raku. You're getting all these cool colors when you're firing it. So I fired this in an open pit fire in my backyard. What I did is first you have to warm up the pottery from 200 to 500 and do it for an hour. So that when you put it into the fire, the open pit fire, the pot's already nice and warm and it won't explode on you. Okay. But what I did is I took some foil. These were in the oven. That pot was in the oven warming up. It was about 500 degrees. I took it out with some welding gloves that I got at Home Depot. I already have my foil out. So I put a big piece of foil out. And in the foil, I put some copper scrubbies. I put that down. I put banana peels down. I might have thrown some orange peels and maybe some salt. You can do any type of salt. Throw that down. Then put the pot here and then wrap the pot in all those things. Being careful because the pot is hot. And wrap that around. And to kind of smash it, all that stuff to the pot, I used my welding gloves and smashed all that. So now you have this cute little foil wrapped pot, right? You put it in the pit and then that's how you get all the... Oh, and I also use a thing called... I painted mineral paint on here. So you take... This is red oxide. I'll show it to you. I bought some red oxide. So you take this on a tile or on a plate if you want. It doesn't matter. Mix it with a little water. Mix it with a little powdered clay. I used some bentonite clay that I had. And the bentonite clay makes it so that it will attach itself. It's the binder, so it'll attach itself to the pot. I took this oxide, this red oxide, then I took some brown oxide, and I just messily painted it on here like that. And then I still did all that other stuff and wrapped it in the foil. And that's how I got this. So I just ordered some other sulfurs and some other minerals. So I'm going to get even cooler colors next time I do it. But I think that turned out pretty cool. So that's that. I did some other stuff, but that's the thing that came out the coolest and what I like the most so far. So, all right. So, I'm rolling this out. I'm flattening this out about a 1/4 inch thick. You always want to stay about a 1/4 inch thick, even when you get to the rim, because if you get too thin, you can easily break your pottery, which I've already done. So this is about a 1/4 inch thick. Okay. Let me get my tools out, and then I'll re-chat here in just a second. Oh, and you know, I need to work on this. And I might need that. Where's my knife? Okay. Just grabbing my tools, you guys, so just a second. And I'll show you the copper stuff I used. It was this. This is one of those copper sponges, and you take it apart. Remember, it's like this when you buy them at the grocery store. You get 3 in a pack. Well, I took it apart, and it comes apart into like a tube. And then I cut it open, and then you're able to basically wrap it around the pot. Oh, you can use a lot of different things. You can use eggshells. You can use seaweed. I threw some eggshells in yesterday. I threw some banana peels in some of them, orange peels, lemon peels. Anything organic like that, you can throw in there. All right, so this is just a little block of wood that I'm going to work on. And this is the mug that I want to make. My Mackenzie Childs mugs. I already made one once. And so this time what I want to improve on is this, and see how it billows out here? This side looked good and this side wasn't as fat as this side when I made it last time. But I put my handle over here so you couldn't tell. But I want to focus on making sure that the billowing out is even all the way around. I want to make mine a little bit bigger this time than I made last time and a little taller. So those are my goals. Oh, and I'm going to use the bottom of this as my base to circle around and cut this out. And I do want to do some Mackenzie Childs painting on it, like do some the checkered, the black and white Mackenzie checks on one of my mugs. So I will be doing that. All right. Is that good enough? Yeah, that's good enough. Do I want that? Yeah, we'll have it like this. It's not the most perfect circle, but it'll be fine. Okay. Okay, let me see what people are saying. Artsy Girl says, love the shape like a Preggers woman. What's a Preggers woman? The clay I used, okay, bentonite clay. I didn't use bentonite clay. Bentonite clay is what I use. I do use bentonite clay, but I use it as a slip because I can buy the bentonite clay from my herb shop or from Mountain Rose Herbs. Because when you make a slip, you need it to be a pure clay. And it's easy if it's a powder, so you can mix it up and put it in some water. But this is not bentonite clay. This is just some wet pottery clay I got from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, and then bentonite clay is good for facials, clarifying hair too. Also, you can brush your teeth with it. That's what I brush my teeth with, is with clay. Hey, Grungy Girl, how are you doing? Thanks, Michelle. Okay. So, we're going to, let me rip this out of the way. We're going to roll out some clay. So, I just learned this from a native guy on YouTube. Forgot his name. But how he rolls out his coils, he rolls them out like you spread your fingers and you bring them back in. And it's so that you can get your coils pretty even when you roll them out. And it worked so good. I like it. Otherwise, when I was going like this and doing it, it was a mess. So this works out a lot better for me. Oh, I know. I need a little cup of water, too. I think I have some over here. There we go. All right. Let's bring back my little base. So you guys, if I do get quiet on you, sorry, I do have to, this is all new to me, so I do have to focus a little bit, so. So this one, this coil gets put right down on top. And you press down, and this bonds the two coils. What I'm doing right now bonds the coil to the base of the mug. And I'm going to show you what ends up happening here in a second. All right, so when I did that going all the way down, this is what you get. See? So that's me going like this and smashing it down, 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 down. And that's how, instead of like scraping and then whatever, this is how you bond. That's how I was taught to bond the the coil to the other part. And here we're just going to do a pinching. And what's kind of cool is you learn different pinches. And this pinch here, you're pinching and you're pinching up, but you're also pinching like this, bringing it together. And when you pinch and bring it together, you're pinching the walls thinner to about 1/4 inch thick, what you need to do, and bringing them up. But when you bring it together, do that pinching and bring it together, it makes it so it doesn't turn out to be a flower pot. Otherwise, if you don't pinch and bring it together like this, it starts turning into a flower pot. This is so that your walls just go straight up. And I'm really trying to focus on not getting, when I get up here, not getting it too thin. Because I've done that. And then when you go to polish, you can break your piece. So leaving it 1/4 inch thick, I've just learned leaving it thicker is better than having it thinner. All right, so then what I want to do is I want to go inside with this scraper and get it wet. And this is just like a plastic, what is this? This is a vinegar bottle. He uses a gourd, which I really think is cool. And so I'm not sure if I shaped my gourd right or not, so I haven't used it. But he uses a gourd, the side of a gourd when he does it. But this is kind of too big to get in here. So I think I'm going to use this one right here, this scraper. Like I said, I made this out of a vinegar bottle. Dip it into some water. And then I'm going to go in and see there's a, hopefully you see that seam in there? I'm going to go in there right now and get rid of the seam. And you know what? I might use, I have another tool that I created, and I think I might use that. I need something kind of small. I made another like a scraper out of a credit card. He tells you about making these scrapers like this. I have one made out of a credit card. Where the heck is it? Didn't I already? Oh, I already pulled it out. Okay. So I made this scraper out of like a credit card. You can see the shape of it. And I think that's going to work better in here because it's smaller. Yeah, this is going to work better. And just wet it a little bit. So I'm just in there, just trying to get rid of that seam. So I'm kind of going back between both of those. Okay, and so now I'm just going to go in here and take this clay off of here. And take the edge of this and just go in here and just smooth everything. And I'll show it to you here in just a second. And you guys, if I get quiet for a second, sorry. This is all new for me, so unlike other things, I do have to focus sometimes a little bit. So you'll hear me. I'm going to use my finger. The only thing that's really sucked out this whole thing is I had to take off my nails. You guys know I love my nails. And I had to take them off because I kept scraping. Okay, so I'm just getting things a little extra smooth, and I'm using my finger to make sure of what's going on in here. Okay, so that's what I have so far. See, there's no seam in there now. And then on the sides, See how the sides look all jankety? Again, take your card, or not card, take the scraper. Let me get the extra clay off of here. And then you scrape up that line so it looks nice and smooth. So that's what I'm doing right now. And you hold the inside so that you don't completely misshapen it. You know, I'm going to try using my gourd really quick because I haven't used that yet. All right, come on, smooth out. There we go. I just made this gourd scraper yesterday. And the guy, Andy, who I learned this from, Andy Ward, that's all he uses is a gourd scraper for his scrapers, so. Okay. And then I'm going to show this to you guys in just a second. So I get all these sides scraped out and smoothed out. And let me just do this, scrape up these sides, and then I will rechat. I'm sure people have some things to say or some questions like, what are you doing? I do like this gourd scraper. I just need to make a gourd scraper that's small enough to get inside right there. I had to use that card because it was too hard to get inside. And then if you get an area where you scrape too much, I can always take a little bit of clay on my finger and kind of fill it in if I get a spot where I've scraped too much. And I did. All right, let me check this out real quick. Get this clay off of here. So I'm just scraping this nice and smooth, just kind of looking at things. Looking and seeing if I have anything that looks not smooth, or like if I scraped off too much or not enough. Okay. We'll see how you guys like this. I don't know how interesting this is to you guys, watching me make this pot or not. But if they think it's too boring and they don't like it, we won't do it again. It's fun for me to do. I just don't know how much fun it is to watch. Okay. So now see how it's nice and smooth it is now. So that whole coil that I put on there, the coil line is gone and it's all smoothed up. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and read chat and see what you guys are having to say. Okay, Artsy Girl says, is it plaster with water or glue for the molds for the cover of the journal? It's Plaster of Paris. So Plaster of Paris, do I have any right now with me? I don't think I have it here. Plaster of Paris is just like a powder. It comes in like a milk carton looking. You buy it at like Home Depot in the paint section, or in the paint section in at Walmart, and you just mix it with water and just follow directions, and that's what I make it out of, and it's really awesome and really cheap. Thrifty 50, how are you doing? She says, I love pottery. Thank you. Okay. Okay, just looking to see if anybody else said anything to me. Lisa, did I say hi to you yet? If I didn't, hello, welcome. And Suzanne, have I said hi to you? Welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Okay, so also at the bottom is the part where I can also trim the bottom off. So, good, Thrifty Tiffany. I'm going to trim the bottom just so that it's nice and even on the bottom, because at this point it flanks out a little bit at the beginning, because we've done so much stuff to it. So this will be my third mug I've made. So I'm excited. I want to make pots that I can cook with. I just made a pot to cook with. It's actually drying right now. So I want to make a pot. I want to make pots to cook with. I want to make plates, bowls, mugs, all of it. And it's so cool because I can just go in my backyard and fire it. I don't have to worry about a kiln or any of that crap. Okay, so this looks good. Before, I'm just trying to see how even this is on top. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the top off to whatever the shortest is, which is right here, just to even this out a little bit before I put my next coil. There we go. All right, so this is what we have now. Okay. Let me go ahead and we're gonna get our next coil going. All right. Hopefully I have enough clay to make this. I don't have to make up more clay. And what I mean by make up more clay is get some more clay and put sand in it. But if I do, then you guys can see me do that part too. So and the clay from Hobby Lobby is it's in the section where they have like everything to make like candles and all that. It's in that section, and it's $15 and you get a big huge box of clay. The guy Andy Ward, who I'm learning this from here on YouTube, where I'm learning, okay, you can learn on the YouTube videos, but for a more comprehensive, I would join the $20 a month, his Ancient Pottery Club. And when you go to his YouTube channel, he'll tell you all about that. But in his videos and in his club, he teaches you how to go out to, especially if you live in the Southwest, like out here, like I live in Vegas, he lives in Arizona, and he teaches you how to go out and look for clay and how to process clay. And he takes like the mystery out of it. He takes like the difficulty out of it. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's clay, you know? I've always heard people say, oh, it's so hard to process clay. Not really. His process, the way he has it, it's really cool. And I do want to go out to either, you know, the desert here in Vegas, or just an area that's been kind of vacant, and look for clay. You know, on the ground, when you look at the dirt, and the dirt is all, like you look at some dirt and it's all crackled on top, that means that's a big key, not always, but it's a big clue that there's clay maybe a foot or two deep underneath there, because the dirt that's all cracked on top, it's because it's expanded and it shrank, expanded, shrink, and that's why it crackles. And if that happens on the surface, that's how you can know that there's probably clay about a foot under. And through a process called levigation, he teaches you how to clean the clay, how to clean it, and then how to make the clay. So you can have clay for nothing, just a little bit of work. So I do want to, this looks good. I do want to go get my own clay and process it. Plus, nothing's better than the word free. Okay, I gotta focus here what I'm doing. Okay, so this coil just goes right on top. Oh, good. I think I have a coil for the next one. Yay. Perfect. I'll put this in the bag, but that's a coil for the next one. I don't have to roll that one out. So that goes right on top of there. So again, this is where, just rubbing these together really quick inside. Okay. This is where I do that thumb thing again, where I hold it inside and then I press down, and I press this coil into the base below. Still holding on to it from the inside so we don't ruin the shape of everything. All right, so I'll show you what I did. So see, I went around and did that same thing again. And by going down and just pressing with my thumb down like that, it binds this coil into this right here. Artsy Girl said I made a green candy dish. The art teacher said I shouldn't go into art. Should have said that. Should have encouraged you. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle said this is so relaxing. Yay. Dirty 50 said it's relaxing for me. Okay. I know, Adrian, that is mean. You were young. She should have been encouraging you. She should have said, you go for it. You're doing good. Just practice a little more. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm just pinching up the walls, thinning that part out that coil I just added. At the same time, I'm pressing in so that I don't get a flower pot shape. We just want to go straight up. We don't want a flower pot. So you don't get a flower pot, you have to pinch up and pinch in. So it's like that. And I really start low, like where that coil began, to really make sure and as my confidence grows, I'll do like I'll do a pot one day, like a pot that I could use as a cooking pot or as like a vase, but I'll do a cooking pot. You know, I need to throw a little bit of water on top of here. This clay felt a little bit dry. Okay. Oops. I hit my camera. There we go. Come on. All right, let me go around, and just to make sure everything is going, I'm not thinning out the walls anymore at this point. I'm just pinching it in just to make sure. See how I'm going like this? Just to make sure, unless I feel like a wall needs to be pinched a little more. But I'm pinching it in. That's my main focus. It's just to make sure that I'm going straight up. And that I'm not getting a flower pot, because we don't want that. I'm also checking for the thickness of the walls too, to make sure that my walls are not too thick. But you don't want to be too thin either. All right, so now I'm going to go back in here and make sure inside there will be a little seam where I just put that coil. It's probably hard to see, but I'm going to go inside and make sure that that coil is removed and just smooth everything inside out. And so how you seal, like this mug, how you seal this up so that you can drink out of it, because it's called earthenware, and I'm sure you've heard earthenware, you can't drink, it's not food safe. The reason that they say it's not food safe is you can seal it about 90%. So your mug or your plate, whatever you're eating off of one of these, it's going to absorb some of the food or the liquid. If it's just tea or coffee, you don't even really need to worry about it. But like if you're going to cook in one of the vessels, or you're going to use a plate and you're going to eat off of it, wash it like normal. But then after you're done eating on it and you wash it, throw it in the oven for just 10 or 15 minutes, just to kill any bacteria that the clay has absorbed. And that's how Andy Ward said to do it for like things you're eating out of. And so how you seal it, like by at least 90% sealed, is you put lard. You smother the whole thing in lard. You smear lard all over, inside and out, or at least inside. I think outside you don't, because it can change the paint and stuff. So you smear the inside all with lard, and then you put it in the oven. I wrote down the degrees, somewhere between 350 and 500. And that, the fat from the oil, from the lard, seals the pot. And that's how the natives did it too. They did it with like an animal fat. Interesting, huh? Okay, so I got rid of that seal in there. And now, let me just smooth it with my finger. Also, what we want to do is we want to form, which I'm about to do as soon as I do some smoothing. We want to form that billowy part of the mug. And actually, I'm not going to do that yet either. I'm going to go to the outside. I just want to smooth the inside as much as I can. Okay, let's go to the outside of the mug. And just get rid of the seam on the outside. Got rid of the seam on the inside. So now let's hold the inside and get rid of the seam on the outside. And I will read chat in just a second, guys. I'm liking this gourd scraper. This is the first time I've used it. I was using that scraper I made out of the vinegar bottle. But I'm liking this gourd. I didn't think I had any gourds to make a gourd scraper, because he makes his gourd scrapers from gourds. And I did have a gourd. I took it out of, I had a gourd that was in one of my wreaths, fall wreaths. So I took the gourd out of there. I broke it and then I shaped it like this. So what I'm using to scrape is this part right here of the gourd. This part here. I've tried to grow gourds here in Vegas so many times, and I've never been successful at growing gourds. And it's usually an easy plant to grow. I'm going to try again, since now I want to have some gourd scrapers of different sizes. So I need a smaller gourd scraper to get inside of this mug. Isn't this cool, you guys? It's not even expensive. It's not about expense. It's about learning skills. And if I was to go out to the desert or to like some open field that had clay, this could cost me $0. So when the natives did this, they did this for free. There was no store to go buy any of this stuff, right? It all comes from the earth, which I think is so cool. Okay. All right, I'll read chat here in just a second. Let me look at what time is it too. 3:45. We may go until 4:30 today. Not maybe, we will. And that'll give me a chance to finish up this mug. Well, I'll finish as much as I can. I'll probably be finished with it though. Okay, I'm going around and I'm just filling in a few spots. Sometimes you take out too much, so I'm just putting some of this clay that I have over here on the side and just filling in anywhere that I need to fill in. Sometimes you can get overzealous with your scraping, which is what I did, so I needed to do this. All right. All right, so Let me just wet the top of this, making sure that we're not getting... All right, so this is where we're at. So here we go. And so everything's pretty nice and smooth, going all the way around. Okay. Not perfect, but pretty smooth. But this is the part now where we want to start billowing out. Okay. See this part right here? How this mug billows out right here? So to form that shape of it billowing out, a lot of time I haven't ever used that gourd scraper yet, but I've used this, my vinegar. You're making it into like kind of like a little bean shape. See how it's a little bean shape? It needs to be rounded edges if you make one of these. I may add a vinegar bottle because I think he said the milk cartons are too flexible. So, all right, camera. Stop moving everywhere. Oh, jeez. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take this side, wet it, and I'm going to start pushing out, and that's going to create that shape, that round shape. Also, I'm holding and cupping. This hand right here is cupping, which is super important. So this is pressing it out, giving that shape. Also, you're smoothing inside if there's anything that needs to be smoothed out. You know, so smooth at the same time. I'm gonna push it out a little bit more. And this is this time where I want to be careful about pushing out, that I push out evenly, because I've done this before and I didn't push out evenly. So I got, you know, my pot or my mug came out a little bit misshapen, or so. But when you're learning, there's only so many things that you can focus on, you know. So every time I make something, I'm like, okay, I need to make improvements next time on this or that. So I said the next time I make a mug, I want to focus on the shape and making sure my shape is even all the way around. All right, let me look at this real quick and see. See, I see the shape is over here is more out than over here. So I'm going to billow it out a little bit more over here. Okay. See, the shape could be more out there. There we go. That looks good. Okay, on this side, the shape could be out a little bit more. There we go. That looks good. Oh, it feels so good to be able to focus on the shape. Now I'm going to go back inside really quickly and just smooth anything with my fingers that, anything I marred at all. And it's nice to get your smoothing done as you go along and not to go back afterwards, because you're not going to get your finger or your scraper in here to smooth or shape if you don't do it now. So do your smoothing and your shaping as you go along. That's what I learned from Andy Ward. I'm just going to get this top a little bit. Oh, any cracking? There we go. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the shape. All the way around, I'm pretty happy with the shape. Okay, so I need to add another, coil on top, but let me go ahead and just trim the top off so that when we add the coil, we add it on evenly. Perfect. And this is the thing too, you're hand building something, right? So do not try to be so perfect. It's not going to look like if you bought it from the store, right? And you don't want it to look like you bought it from the store. That's the cool thing when you see some hand pottery. You're like, ooh, you can tell when it's made by hand and when it's made by a machine. Sorry guys, I just have to do a little scraping here that I see. All right. So let me put this aside. We need to get another coil. Yay, and I already have the coil done because remember last time the coil was, I made it really big, so let me just put this on here. Hopefully this coil fits. We're a little bit short, wouldn't you know it? All right, let's put this on here and then I'll know exactly how much more I need to put on here. Oh, I'm trying to think, do I need to go, let me look at the shape. Okay, so this coil needs to go, instead of going right on top, it needs to go inside a little bit. So it's going to go inside the circle a little bit instead of being so on top. And that's because we want to get smaller, right? We just billowed out, so we got fatter, and then we want to go a little bit smaller. All right, what are people saying? Hey, C. Rose, how are you doing? Hey Suzanne, how are you doing? Suzanne says lard is easy in Georgia, is it? GA? But my ex picks up a couple of gallons of homemade lard when he goes to Louisiana. Awesome. C Rose says lard is hard to find over here anymore because I need it for Christmas cookies. Can you find lard easily? Yeah, I always have a big thing of lard here at my house. It's at all the grocery stores here. Okay. Whose birthday is it? I'm looking at all the things. If you guys want me to read anything, make sure that you put it in and you put it in caps. Oh wait, Marilyn Artsy Girl said Angie, Rose, and Thrifty have questions. Okay. Oh, okay. I can see the questions. Okay. Let me go through the questions here. Thrifty50, are you going to paint and glaze the mug? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to glaze, because glazing is for when you're going to fire in a kiln. I do open fire pit firing like the natives did it. So you build like a teepee type of fire and you fire your pottery that way. You also preheat it in the oven so it doesn't explode. You also protect it from the fire. Sometimes you don't, but a lot of times you do, with either pottery sherds or like pieces of metal to go around it. And then you put your firewood in like a teepee going around it. And before I do that, to paint it, you paint it with minerals like red iron oxide. I'll show you. I bought some red iron oxide, 2 different colors of it. I bought more than this, but this is red iron oxide. You mix, just on like a tile, you just put a little down, you mix it with a little water, and then you take some bentonite clay, dry bentonite clay, any type of dry clay will work. Put that in there, the clay acts as a binder, and then that way that turns this into a paint. And then I can paint this and do any type of design on it that I want. So on the mugs, anything I'm going to eat off of, I'm not going to do the like kind of raku type of firing. I'm going to paint designs on it, like native looking designs with this. So that's how you glaze it, but it's not really glazing. You're using mineral paints, and that's how the natives did it. Now, pieces like the vase and stuff that I showed you guys, I'll get the vase out here in a second. The vase that I made, that I did kind of like the raku firing on it. It's not raku, but I call it raku type. Those, for the raku firing to come out really cool, you have to like spray, like I sprayed an acrylic spray on it, and it shined it up, and it really brought out the raku type of firing. So those are the 2 types of firing and glazing I'm doing, but it's not really a true glaze. So anybody else see? Okay, let me see if anyone has anything else to say. I think Suzanne said lard is pork fat, much better for you. It's the truth. Crisco and vegetable oil and all that is fake oil. Lard is real oil. I know they always want to say that you shouldn't have lard. Lard is not bad for you. Lard is it's a natural fat. The stuff that's bad for you are fake oils. Like vegetable oil is a fake oil. Coconut oil is awesome for you because it's a real oil. These are all these things I learned when I got certified as an herbalist about the different fats. So anything with vegetable oil, you really don't want. Olive oil, coconut oil, lard, all the natural oils and fats are what are really good for you. All right, so I'm pushing this clay down to bind these together. Also, I'm sitting this in the inside of this because we want to get smaller as we go up. Oh, I'm at the end. Okay. Do we want to put this back in? Yeah, what the heck? Okay. Let me make sure this is binded here in the middle. Like I said, sorry you guys if I get quiet. I have to focus on this a little more than I usually focus on things because, like I told you, I'm new. Let me just get water on all this. This clay feels a little bit dry. Okay. So now I'm going to go through. Oh, darn it. Why is that cracking? Okay. All right, let me. I'm pinching the walls up, also kind of compressing in a little bit so that compressing up so that we keep going up and in, not going out like a flower pot. So that's why that compression and pinching in is so important. If not, you can't, your walls won't go straight up and they won't go in a little bit. They'll start going out like a flower pot. And I'm going to do some more compression pinching because I want these walls to come in a lot, but I really want to focus on getting these walls up and even. Okay, so I'm going to just go around a little bit and just pinch this all in. This is one of the first times my clay got a little bit dry. Weird. Let me just go around and do some compression pinching so that these walls start going in. Ooh. All right, so let me now go inside and get rid of the seam inside. So I'm going inside and getting rid of the seam inside and doing any smoothing. Okay. Okay, and I'm holding on to the outside of it too so that I don't get rid of the shape. So what I've been doing lately is I'll do one day I'll work on my mixed media, one day I'll work on pottery, one day I'll work on mixed media, one day I'll work on pottery. Sometimes I work on both on one day because maybe I'm just polishing up or putting slip on some pottery. So it kind of depends, but okay. All right, so that's out. Okay, so now let me scrape the outside. So if you look at it, you guys see the system. What am I trying to say? The process. It's the same. You keep doing the same thing over and over. It's not really, once you get the process down. Real art is not expensive. It's actually, well, you know what? Everything's expensive now. It used to be, I can get a big, huge tub, a big tub of it for like $6, $7. Now I think it's 10, but anyway. Hey Kelly, how are you doing? Yeah, I think I just heard from Janice not too long ago. Thanks, Artsy Girl. Artsy Girl says the pottery studio down the block director sold me a black vase with a rubber blade Ginsberg white lace collar draped on it. I keep it next to the black pot I made. Cool. Okay. Okay, so if anyone has anything to say to me, thank you, C Rose. Make sure you put it in make sure that you put it in caps so I can make sure I see it and answer it. So now I'm going to go up to the outside. And I'm just going to scrape smooth the seam on the outside. I just did the seam on the inside, right? So now we're going to do the seam on the outside. And just smoothing and scraping anything else that we see. Ooh, I need to be careful not to touch things that don't need to be touched. I just scraped the side on this one thing, this one part. And see, that's what happened when I had my nails on. I was just touching the heck out of my wet clay, making a mess out of it. So it's what I had to do. It's what I had to sacrifice, my nails, if I want to do this. So, and I've always wanted to do pottery. So the sacrificing of my nails was worth it. So I sacrificed my nails, my fingernails. All right, so we almost got all the seam all the way around done. Then I'll show you guys what this looks like. All right, so all right, get this clay out of this, the center of this scraper here. Get my hands semi-clean. All right, so let me show you where we're at. So see? Okay, so I'm going to go inside and just kind of shape again so that we have make sure the shape is oh, I hate when I do that. Like I told you, I just scraped the outside of my damn mug again. Okay. You got to be careful. So I'm just going back in and reshaping and just giving myself, just making sure that it's nice and billowed out, for a better lack of words. I like that really billowed out look. So I'm just making sure the shape. It's nice that I'm not so focused on technique, because I learned a lot of the techniques. Now I can focus on shape, making sure things aren't going too thin. I can look at the smoothness of things. All right, so do I like how that shape is? Yes. All right, so we're going to add one more small coil on top. And that one more small coil on top is to see how this mug, how it comes, see how it comes out right here. It goes in and then it comes out and does that shape. We're going to put that in there. But first, we're going to quickly cut this off. And we're almost done, you guys. Oh, I still got to do the handle, but the handle's not hard. Oh, you know what? I should have started where it's the shortest first. There we go. Okay. All right. All right, so we're going to put one more coil on top. And that's when we're going to do that billow, that. Yay, I had enough clay. Just wet it a little bit. Like I said, it got a little bit dry in that bag. Thanks, Thrifty 50. I know I miss my nails too, but yeah, I love pottery more than my nails. And I'll save time doing my nails every 2 weeks. I would do my nails. It would take, you know, a couple hours, but so I don't have to spend as much time on my nails. Okay. People must come on my channel and they're like, Lord, you never know what Angela's going to be doing. I love to learn new things. I absolutely love to learn new things. That's part of my damn problem. I like to do too many things. Too many. This one's going to be a little bit not as fat because I don't need this mug to get that much bigger on top. Okay. Okay, again, this is going to go more on the inside of the mug than right on top because we're getting narrower, more narrow, right? All right. Same thing we've been doing. Let's do it again. All right, we'll see how this goes on my my iPad just said it was about to go dead, but no major. I can just go get my husband's iPad if I have to. We'll see. Okay. So let's go through and do the pinching. And this last pinching is super important because you don't want to get the pinching too thin. Keep the 1/4 of an inch thickness at the top of the walls here. Because if you get too thin, when you go to polish your piece, you polish your piece with a stone. Like a smooth, polished, round stone. You'll break the piece, which I've done. Oh. Okay, that needs some water right there. All right, let's go over here and let this get some water on it there. Okay. All right, so let me go inside and take care of the seam on the inside. Make sure the seam is good on the inside. What time is it? Okay. So I'm obliterating that seam on the inside. Do I have any more seam on the inside? No. So now I'm just going around and just making sure everything looks kind of pretty smooth inside. And just making sure I don't have any more seams on the inside. And that we're as smooth as we can be. And I'm sorry, you guys, I haven't looked at chat for a little bit, but I will in a minute. All right, so now we're going to obliterate the seam on the outside. Oh, thanks, C Rose. Okay. Let's go and obliterate the seam on the outside. I was so excited when I don't even know how I ran across. I wasn't looking how to make pottery. I was, things just come up on the side there when you're on YouTube, and sometimes I think YouTube just, they just suggest things that you might be interested in. And this Andy Ward with ancient pottery came up. I'm like, what is that? That looks interesting. How to make pottery without a kiln or a pottery wheel. And I was like, yes, because I always thought the natives did it. How did they do it with no wheel and without a kiln? And I seen that they would do open fire pits, but I just wasn't sure how that whole thing worked. Well, Andy Ward, he explains it all to you. And it's not hard. It takes time, it takes practice, but it's not hard. So if you want to do it and you want to practice, you will get good at it. Let's just put a little bit of water up here so I don't want nothing cracking. I normally don't put water on my pieces when I'm working on them like this, but the clay got a little bit dry in that bag. It wasn't in the May bag, it was in another bag that I had. Okay, so now, oh, come on, camera. I'm going to go around really quickly and I'm going to do some compression pinching, which means pinching in, because I want this to come in. And then we're going to do a complete shaping too. But I just want this. I'm going to go through and compression pinch a couple of times around. I'm not making the walls any thinner. I'm just pressing them in so that we get, so things start coming in. If I do feel a wall is too thick, I will pinch it a little thinner if I feel like I need to. And it's cool because it's all about feel. Like you'll start feeling your way through this whole thing, as far as like how thin the wall should be or how thick, or okay, so that looks good. We're going to trim this off, and then we're going to shape the top. So let me trim this off, and then all I have left to do is the handle. Ooh, we're going long today, aren't we? Okay. Ooh, do I not have enough clay for the handle? Let me look and see. Oh, I think I have just enough for the handle. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I do have enough for the handle. Oh, thank goodness. I heard someone say that that's what they loved about school. It's probably because they took ceramics. Like an idiot, I never took pottery or ceramics. I was into dance, so I was a dancer and I was a cheerleader. So those are the two things that I liked, and they took up mostly between cheer and dance. They took up my. That's probably why they took up my. You know how you can have two classes, two choice. What is it called when you choose your classes? Two electives. So that's probably why I never took anything else, because my two electives was always dance and then when I was a cheerleader. So that had to be a class too. So, but I sure wish I would have taken up ceramics. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create that lip, okay? So you take your two thumbs like this and you use the shape of the thumb and press out. Oh my gosh. Why in the world would this crack like that? Just a second, I have to make a repair. I don't know what the heck is going on right here. Why in the world that would do that? Don't be cracking. All right, let's try that again. So I'm shaping it out with my finger, and I'm using the concave part of my finger to get that concaved on the top here. Well, you know what? Let's just put water all the way around it just to make sure that we don't have any problems. Let's go on the inside too. And let's go on the outside, because I don't want to have no cracking problems. I usually never have cracking. But that bag must have dried my clay out a little bit. Okay. All right, let me look at the shape now of what's going on. Yeah, I think that looks good. You know, I do. Let's just go around one more time and just give it a little more shape. Just a little bit more. This mug is huge, which I'm excited about. I want it to be this big. Okay, so here's the shape. See the shape right there? That's what the mug looks like. And I'll have pictures of this mug up close after the video is processed to YouTube. Okay, so the last thing here we want to do is we want to do the rim. I'm excited because I wanted my mug to be bigger, and it is this time. It's even bigger than the original Mackenzie mug. Just a second. I see something inside of here that looks like a little bit of a crack, and I don't want. We'll fill that in just to make sure. There we go. All right. So let me go through with my finger and just. We're smoothing the edge real nice so that so it looks nice, but also so that when you drink out of it, you have a nice smooth edge on your lips, because I will be drinking out of this. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so that's what we have there, and then that's what we have here. Okay, all right, so now we're going to make the handle. Okay, let me just read what people are saying. 50-50, I want to make one now. Don't you want to make one now? Oh my God, I know, it's so fun. Between this video and go to Andy Ward and go to his channel, and then go to where he makes mugs. By what I've showed you here and what he's going to show you, you could probably go ahead and make it even without signing up for his courses. The reason I signed up for his course is because there are things that there were all these filler questions that I needed answered, and he just gets more comprehensive on his in his classes. Like all those little questions sometimes that you have. Let me wet this clay real quick. He answers those. Plus, if you have questions, I mean, you can ask him questions anyway on his YouTube channel, but you can really get into asking questions when you take his course for the $20 a month. And to be in his Ancient Potters Club is what it's called. If you join the Ancient Potters Club, then you're able to take the classes, his classes that he has for $20 a month. Plus, you belong to the club, which is cool to belong to a club. I love, like, when I find something new I want to get into, I always try to get into a group, a Facebook group, a YouTube group, something, because then you get support and other people who are interested in what you're doing. And support is a big, it really helps when you have support. Okay, now I'm making the handle. Okay, what are people saying? Angie, you keep making my craft list larger. I know, I'm sorry. C-Rose says it's really awesome. Thank you. Oops, what am I doing? Okay. Oh, you guys, my iPad just went off. So just a second. Let me just roll this out. And then I have to go get my my husband's iPad. But let me roll this out first. Okay. Roll that out and then flatten this a little bit, because this is going to be the handle. And let's go to the other side. Okay, so let's put some water on this real quick. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm just gonna go run and get my other iPad just so I can see chat. Otherwise, I don't see chat. Okay, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me go get my other iPad. Kyle, can I have your iPad? My iPad went dead. I almost got it. Are we outside doing the pool? Okay, you guys, I'm back. Just a second, let me turn my iPad on. Okay, your channel. Turn my sound all the way down. Okay, I'm back on now. Well, I mean, I never went off with you guys, but I just couldn't see the chat. Okay, 5050 says, can I make a mug and then take it to a ceramic place to have it fired? Okay, some places want you to pay in their materials. Okay, this is the deal. I'm not so sure about all that because there's these, okay, when you go to get it kiln fired, there's a thing called cones, and you have to have the right clay for the right cone, which means the temperature that you're going to fire it at. So, so there's more to it when you do it that way. And they charge quite a bit. But if you do the pit firing, you guys, he shows you how you can pit fire in your driveway. He shows you how you can pit fire just in your backyard on your patio. On your patio on dirt or on a poured cement patio. So check his video out, and then you can be able to fire whenever you want, and also you don't have to it's free, because otherwise you're paying good money to go get it fired somewhere. Plus, like I said, it has to be whatever they have their kiln set for to fire at. So you have to have a certain clay that fires at a certain temperature. When you're doing it like the way I'm doing it, open pit firing, it doesn't matter. The biggest thing that matters is that you add the sand to it, because then when the heat hits it and the fire hits it, there's enough timber in it, in your clay, that it can handle the fire, the flames. Okay, so now I have to decide where I'm going to put my handle, and I'm going to put it on this side. Okay, now so what I've done is, see how I cut that little piece right there? What do they call this? There's a certain name of how I'm putting this on. I'm not just putting the handle on and smashing it in. I'm doing it like this. So I'm trying to think of what he called this. Anyway, how I'm doing it, it's a lot more sturdy way to put your handle in. And I wish I could think of the darn word. Just a second, you guys. I'm creating like a little square that this is going to go into. Riveting, that's what he calls it. I'm putting a riveted handle into my clay so that it goes all the way through the clay body, all the way through the mug. And then it's a lot sturdier so that you won't get a broken handle. So it's called a riveted handle. So I'm cutting a small little square for this handle, that riveted part that I showed you, to go through. So I'm cutting that out of my clay. So just a second. We're going to put this in the hole. There we go. So it's a riveted handle, and it because it goes all the way through the mug, it's going to be so much more sturdy. And so around it, over here on the side, I have all this clay that's been sitting in a little bit of water on the side. It's kind of mushy. See, I'm going to use that mushy clay to seal this up. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Why is this not? Okay, so just a second, guys. I may need to attach this a little bit better. I may need to. I do have to mush up the handle a little bit. Plus use that little bit of soft clay like I was talking about. I do got to mush it up a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to cut another square. I got to decide where I'm going to put this, how big the handle is going to be. So about right there. And I am putting a big fat juicy handle on here. I think a big fat juicy handle is going to be fabulous. Hopefully it's not too fat for the mug. It's a big mug, so it needs a big handle. All right, so I'm going to cut this out again. Okay, cut that out for the riveted handle. And then let me cut out, hopefully I'm not out of frame. I need to cut out the little square. Let me see where I want this to go to. It's going to go like right there. Okay. Sorry, you guys, I'm being a little bit quiet, but I'm focusing on making that cutting out that little square in the middle of my damn mug. Okay, did it. See, I got that little piece out right there. Woo! Did you guys feel the stress with me or what? Just kidding, wasn't that stressful. Okay, you know, I gotta put some water on this. I started seeing something try to crack. Don't be trying to crack. Okay. All right, let me put this handle. Put this through here. Perfect. All right, so now I need to get some more. Okay, let me just attach. Take some of this and attach this here. All right, I'm going to use some of that clay and go around all of this. And I'm not going to be super smooth about this, the clay that's around this here. I just want to make sure there's a lot of clay around it so that this handle is sealed really good. So I will come back, because after you're done, you have to do some scraping after this is like leather hard. Like tomorrow it'll be leather hard. What leather hard means is that it's still wet enough. It's dry enough that it's stabilized more, but it's wet enough that I can still scrape areas if I need to scrape areas or smooth areas. And because this is all, you know, soft, I don't want to mess with it too much, because I can come back tomorrow and do the scraping anywhere it needs it on the whole mug. And I can really scrape up nicely around this whole area where I'm putting all of this clay to make sure my handle is on good. So it may not look the smoothest right now where this handle is. And I don't have to, at this point, make sure. Let me just get a little bit more clay. What I'm using is all the clay that's left on like the scraper and stuff. Because we're done. We're gonna be done in 5 minutes. That's the clay I'm using, and just adding a little bit of water to it so it's nice and almost like frosting. And then I want to get up underneath here. Even though I can't see it, I want to get up underneath the handle to make sure that it's done well underneath here, even though I can't really see. You know what? I'm gonna lift this up. I'll be out of this thing for a second. So just a second, guys. I just gotta look underneath the handle here. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay. I know I'm quiet as anything. Sorry, guys. I'm just focusing real quickly on this handle. And this handle's taking a little bit of focus, so sorry. And it's taking a little bit of time. Okay. And any finer smoothing, I will wait until this is all set up until tomorrow, and this will be it'll be more set up. And also another thing is, you want to stabilize your handle with like a little stone or something, so underneath there. So I'm going to get a stone, and then we'll do the giveaway here in just a second, guys, and I will read chat here in just a second. The next time I do some clay, I'll just do the clay the whole 2 hours. Because even a mug took me longer than an hour. It took me, you know, almost 2 hours, actually. Okay. So I'm putting that stone. You guys saw that stone? So I'm taking this stone here, and I'm just putting it underneath under the lip of the handle so that it has something to rest on. There we go. I'm just going to try to lift this up so you guys can see. See? So I will take pictures, and there'll be some pictures so you guys can see these close up. Okay, I'm just looking to make sure everywhere where my handle is, that it's good. Oh, you know, I didn't look inside real quick. Okay. Where this handle is, I gotta smooth that out. Shoot. Okay. Just wanted to make sure the handle inside was smooth. It's not like I can't do it after I get off of this thing. I'm telling you, this is addicting. So, this looks pretty good. And so after this, there'll be, after this is leather hard tomorrow, I'll go through and I'll do any other scraping that needs to be scraped. Anything that needs to be smoothed out, I'll do that when it's leather hard. And then I will put a white slip on it, which is just some bentonite clay watered down. Put that slip on there, and then wait a couple hours, and then I'll take a stone, like a small polished stone, and I will polish up the slip. And then after that, you either paint it, or you wait a few days for it to really dry hard, like 4 or 5 days. Either you can paint it with the mineral paint, or I can do that other thing that's kind of like that raku firing. All right, so there we go, guys. Let me read what you guys have to say and wash my hands off, and then we'll do a giveaway. And today I think we'll just do one giveaway because we are running really behind on time. So we'll just do one giveaway today. So okay, let me just wipe my hands off, and let me also read chat real quick. Time to go yard sailing to look for smokers. Would love to see the finished project. Okay, Carrie, yeah, for sure. You will. Next week I'll show you guys. Yeah, I can show you guys next week, because you know what? I think I can fire. What is today? Yeah, I'll have this painted. I'm not going to do the raku firing on it. I'm going to do the mineral painting on it and then fire it. And I'm going to do the firing next Saturday. So it'll be all ready to go. You'll be able to see it on Sunday. So next week you can see the finished product. Okay, anybody else have anything to say? Patty said, love it. Thank you, Patty. It's so awesome. Started from nothing to something very useful. Isn't that cool, Kelly? I know, that's why I absolutely love doing this pottery. Okay, just trying to see if anyone has anything to say. Patty says, I love a good mug. Are you planning to sell some once you get going? Yes, Patty, I think I'm going to. Once I get going, I will start selling some of my, some of the pottery. It'll probably be a while because I want to get, decent at it and feel confident about it before I would sell anything. And also I want to make myself a bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I missed anything else. Okay, Adrian says, what about the oven on low or perhaps high settings for drying your piece? Okay, the oven does not get hot enough. The oven goes up to what, 500? Um, just a second, I'm reading real quick, you guys. Okay, so if you did it in your backyard, if you have a backyard, and I saw some people were concerned about fire restrictions and stuff like that, it's the same. I have a fire pit in my backyard, like, you know, like a metal one. But you can also, he shows you how to do it. You could actually do it in your backyard. Nobody would even know that you're having an open fire pit in your backyard. He did it on cement. He actually did it on cement in his driveway. It didn't make a ton of smoke. He put sand down first, and then he put sand down first, then some bricks, and then he put his pottery on top of that, and then he stacked, like in a teepee shape. He stacked his wood and did his firing like that. And it wasn't super smoky because you're using like wood. You're using some dried tree branches. And the tree branches, you don't want anything bigger than that, really. And you only want the fire to go for anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then it'll start burning itself out, and then you just let it cook with just the coals. Oh, and the thing about the oven, someone asked me about the oven. The oven doesn't get hot enough. That's why you have to put it in you have to make a fire pit and do it in fire, and let it be fired with fire, not just the oven. But I did put my pots in the oven for an hour, from 200, 250 up to 500. I just kept moving it up for an hour before I fired in the open fire pit, because what that does is it rises the heat rises up in the in your pottery, so it doesn't get shocked by the heat, by the sudden flames. It's already been warmed right before, up to 500 degrees. So I didn't get any broken pottery because of that. Also, by adding the sand to the clay, it's called temper. By doing that, it also helps with your pottery not cracking. Because the reason pottery cracks is because it expands and it shrinks, right? Well, the expanding and the shrinking, your pottery will be able to handle it better. Two things: if you add the sand into the clay, no matter what clay you get, pretty much. Also, if you preheat in your oven from 200 to 500 over an hour before you go to the fire pit, it'll be nice and warm. So I think hopefully I answered all the questions that people have. Okay. Okay, so let's do a quick giveaway. We're just going to do one giveaway today because we are really, really pushing it today with time. So, let me get... This is kind of a fun giveaway today because I found a Mexican or Spanish newspaper. Well, I've had it because I was using it to stuff for my eBay stuff, but I didn't realize, I'm like, this newspaper is in Spanish. So, you know how I like to take the Asian newspaper and use it in my artwork? Now you can take the Spanish paper. Look, everything's written in Spanish. Isn't that beautiful? So, I have 2 of these, and I have 2 of the Asian newspapers. So we'll do a set like this. So it'll be 1 newspaper in Spanish and 1 newspaper in Japanese. I think is this Chinese or Japanese? I think this is Chinese because I got it from Chinatown. So please, if I'm wrong, don't anybody hate me. I think it's Chinese. Okay, so you have 1 in Chinese, or at least I'll say Asian, and then 1 in Spanish. So we have 2 of those to give away today. Or just 1, because we're only doing 1 giveaway. What am I saying? Okay, so there's that. What am I saying? I feel accomplished, though. We got a lot done today. Okay, what else? What else? The printables. I'll go through the printables in a second. The printables are in here. Okay, the printables. What else? I still have coloring books that nobody has claimed for a while. That coloring book. Desert Blooms. The animal one. this one here, that's adult etchings. And then, what else? Oh, I still have the troll notepad too, where it's the troll notepad and the little troll journal. Anybody who's a troll lover. And what else? Okay, and here's another quick little, this is cute. I have this Free Spirit little journal, and then this one here, and we'll make this a little set. Isn't that cute? All right, so that's good for today. So we have this for the giveaway, the troll set for the giveaway. Let me scoot my pottery over so I don't mess that up, or I will be very upset with myself. The coloring books. And then quickly, the printables. This is the printables for May. These are my jelly prints and that I've created, and also sometimes I put stencils over the jelly prints. But everything's based from the jelly prints. I'm just going through quickly because a lot of people have already seen this. And this was May's. I know it's June, but June's not going to come out until next week, at the end of next week. I'm usually running about a week behind. I usually don't start the first of every month. I usually start the second week of the month because, I don't know, because it's only me. These are Mucha's work, and because they're public domain, I put these in the kits, and you can use those in your work. Okay, so there's the printable kit, and the printable kit you will print off yourself. I'll give you the information of how to print it off. So I don't send it to you anymore. I do it so you print it off yourself, which is what you would do if you purchase it from my Etsy shop. And if you like the printables and you want to purchase any of the printables, you can print them off. You can purchase them from my Etsy shop. There's a link below. Every 5 sheets is $2.50. And the clickable link will be below, or it'll be below any of my videos. In about an hour, in the description, there'll be a clickable link in about an hour once I get back after this video processes. Okay, so these are all the giveaway things. Okay, so don't start yet until I say start. One number only. The first person to get the number, I call it right then, because even if you hadn't given your number yet, I just call it because it's easier for me to keep track of it. If somebody gives a number like a few seconds later, I'll still count it because there is a lag in chat. And if there's any other rules, we'll talk about them as we go along. Okay, how many people are in the chat? I think there's 13. So we're going to do numbers 1 through 13. I'm going to choose a number right now. Okay, so number 1 through 13, go. Oh, and the first person, if nobody guesses my number, it's the first person who gets it that and round it up. The number rounded up. Closest, the person who's closest to my number rounded up. If nobody gets the number. Carolyn, if you want, you can choose a different number. I know I said one number only, but see, Rose and Carolyn both got the same number, so. Nobody's got the number yet, so whoever gets the number rounding up closest will it will be the winner. Northern Snowbird, it's numbers 1 through 13. There you go. 8. Perfect. It's not the right number, but okay. Adrian got it. It was number 9. So congratulations, Adrian. Adrian, I don't know if I have your address or not. Below, there's a clickable link. Just go to my Etsy shop below this video, click on there and leave your address there. What did you want to, which prize do you want? I'm just waiting to see what prize she wants. Did she say yet? Adrian? The newspapers. Okay. Girl, that's what I would choose too. Because you can use those in your collages, in your mixed media, and your backgrounds. It's fabulous. I'm sitting here still working on my clay, on my mug. I just saw something that needed to be done. Anyway. Okay. All right, you guys. Okay, so she wants the newspapers. Let me write that down. Newspapers. And Carolyn, like I said, go to my Etsy shop. There's a clickable link below this video or any of my videos, and leave your address one more time just to make sure I have it. And here's your name and the newspapers. So those will go together. And those will go out. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this long live. I don't think I've ever gone this long before. But the next time I do some clay stuff, I definitely will do that for the whole 2 hours. Because the mug still took me almost 2 hours to do. So anyway, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I hope I encouraged you guys to want to do some pottery. Okay, you guys, good night to everybody. I will see you guys next Sunday, 2 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Artsy Girl, my moderator. I appreciate it. Love all of you guys. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks, Angie. Can't wait to see. Wait to buy my mug. Patty, you're so cute. Patty's all, I can't wait to buy my mug. Well, let me get somewhere decent at it first. All right, you guys. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye. Okay, what is the deal with this today? Oh, there we go. All right. Bye, guys.